Hey YouTube, today we're going to be looking at a Norinco MAK 90. It's an AK variant rifle that has a kind of a weird story. And before we go any further with this, I'm going to show you that this evil rifle here doesn't have anything in it. And we are clear to watch this video and everybody is safe. We're going to open this bolt up and show you there is nothing in this thing. So what we have here, this is a MAK 90, and these things are kind of a weird thing, and it's got a little bit of a story behind them, and I'm not an expert on these things, but I will tell you what I know. Let me give you a little bit of a close-up of this thing. It says Norinco here. It says MAK 90 Sporter, has the caliber on it. There's the serial numbers on it. It has the matching number on other parts of it here. Let me show you on the bolt carrier. It also has the same number. So what these things are is, in the 90s, there was a ban on assault weapons coming into the United States. The Bush administration, we're talking about Bush Sr., wanted to ban any foreign assault weapons coming into the United States. And yes, folks, I know there's a lot of Second Amendment people that think it's just one-sided, that are anti-guns, but that's not true, folks. Government in general are anti-guns, and that's why I like the government to be involved in my life as least as possible. So the Bush administration banned any assault weapons coming in, and I don't know all the logistics of it or anything. So Norinco, which is a Chinese-based defense company, and they build all kinds of stuff: grenade launchers, missiles, ammunition, rifles, whatever have you. Well, they were importing these rifles into the United States, and they had to become compliant. So what they did is they made a couple changes on these things, and they shipped with the way that they defined an assault weapon. You know, they had certain features that the government did not want on them. One of them was a pistol grip on it. The other one was they didn't want a bayonet lug to be attached to the rifle. So this thing doesn't have a bayonet lug. They didn't want the ability to have a flash suppressor, so it couldn't have a threaded barrel on it. And so Norinco made these things compliant. So what they did is they shipped them with a thumb hole stock, and this one's got some kind of weird stock on it here that really doesn't count as a pistol grip either, but they put a thumb hole stock in it where you could put your hand through it like this and grip onto it, but it's not really a pistol grip because it's attached to a stock. They eliminated the bayonet lug right here, so you can't attach a bayonet to it. There's no threaded barrel or anything on this thing, so you can't have a bayonet. So if anybody wants to go to battle with one of these, you're not going to stab anybody with them. But other than that, it is the same exact gun as the Type 56 Chinese AKs. Well, I call them AKs because that's what they are. It's an AK platform. But the originators of the AK, Russia, do not count these as AKs, but they are AKs, folks. It's an AK platform rifle. It's chambered in 7.62 by 39. So these things started shipping into the United States compliant in 1990, and that's hence the name MAK 90. If you look on here, MAK stands for Modified AK. Now, the way you can tell on a MAK 90 the year it was made is the serial number here. The first two numbers of the serial number is the year it was made. So this one was made in 1994. So from 1990 to 1994, they shipped thousands of these things into the country. And then in 1994, when the Clinton administration, bless their hearts, passed the assault weapons ban, they stopped importing them altogether. So these only came into the country for 4 years. Now, this sounds like a relatively small amount of time, but there are thousands of these things out there, thousands. And when they came in, I think you could buy these things for like 180 bucks. They were really cheap, and you pretty much couldn't give them away. I remember you used to go to gun shows, see these things sitting by the stacks at the gun shows. You can buy them for next to nothing. Well, that's not the case anymore, folks. These things are, there's no more of them coming into the country, and they're really well made. They're a little bit thicker receivers. The stamped metal on it is a little bit thicker than most, like the Russian type of AKs. So this was a little kept secret there for a while. Quality on these things for an AK are, it's a very high quality. You got an excellent trigger on them things, on these things. So if you take this thing and you wrap the slide, the trigger pull on it is amazing. I'm going to try and give you a demonstration on here. I don't know how you can get a better trigger on an AK, but real high quality, very well made. It's kind of a niche with these things. I know people get into these. Is it a pre-band? Is it a post-band? It really doesn't matter, folks, because there is no bands on these things right now. These things work just as good as if you went and bought a new AK, or a new AK works just as good as these. Now, if you wanted nostalgia, just owning something old that, I don't know, maybe they don't ship into the country anymore, this is the way to go. Now, when you go to buy these things, I think they're a little bit higher priced than they should be. I acquired this thing because it was a deal that I couldn't pass up. I'm not going to overpay for anything, and the deal that I got on this, somebody wanted something that I had that absolutely I wasn't attached to, and I traded a friend of mine for this thing just to have it. I've never actually owned the Norinco MAK 90, so I figured why not. Now with these things, one of the modifications that they made on them is when they put these stocks on them, there's two different kinds of receivers on them. One of them's called a slant cut receiver, and one of them's a square cut receiver. If you have one with a square cut receiver, it's fairly easy to put a stock, just a regular AK stock on it, like a Chinese AK stock. The slant ones, I think there's a little bit more involved in it. I'm not an AK person. I don't know. I'm going to look into getting a stock for this. This one actually is a square cut receiver on it. So this one will be the easier one to do. And I can't see it'd be too hard just to get a wooden stock and fit it into here, you know, with a little sanding and filing and all that. But pretty neat weapon, pretty neat story behind these things. And boy, has the government really done us a favor by banning certain things and all that. But folks, there's no need to go overpay for these. There's plenty of United States made AKs out there today. I have a video on one that I have that works just as well. There'll be a lot of people that will tell you that they're not as good or anything. I think the trigger on this one actually is a little bit better, but not a real big fan of China myself. But this is a pretty good made weapon here. But I don't know a lot about them, a lot about the AK variant. I've never really been a huge fan of it. Like I said, the only reason I got this one is I helped a friend out that wanted something of mine, and he traded me, and I was like, why not? I'll usually pretty much do the deal if it'll help somebody out. That's what I do. But this is a really cool weapon, and we'll take it out to the range here and give it a shot and see what happens with it and everything. I don't see it having any problems. They take regular AK magazines. One of the things that they did is when they shipped into the country, when it was compliant, they shipped them with 5-round magazines in them. Well, the magazine wells will accept the regular AK magazine, so it's got a stamped Chinese 30-round magazine in it right now. But anyway, folks, if you have any questions on this, feel free to ask. I'm not an expert on this. This is just a MAK 90 AK made in 1994. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it pre-band, post-band, whatever you want to call it. There is no band right now, so we're going to call them all post-band. But maybe we'll get some different furniture for it, and we'll do a video on changing the furniture out on it and make it look a little bit different than it does now. Or maybe we'll just leave it alone. You tell me what you think. I'll have to look into what will fit on it and what will not fit on it, because like I said, I'm not an AK person. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.